An ending, first of all, is a privilege. It's much rarer than you think that we see the endings of things we love. I mean, just think about everyone that's been in your life and all the people in that life that have slowly drifted away from it. You won't see those endings, and there'll be many more examples you have of that as you get older and as time progresses. People drift apart, and yes, maybe that's an ending in itself, but not one with much closure. The media we watch can be the same way. Yes, there are many times we get an ending, but there are dozens, tens of dozens of shows we watch that would never get an ending with closure. And it's not by design. It's because the show was cancelled, or the ending we did get is unsatisfying unintentionally because of studio meddling or something of the sort. Honestly, sometimes an ending that's there is there by necessity, there because there was no other option. To end it here can hurt just as much as an ending that's there because it was planned for. Because subconsciously you feel that forcedness, you feel that there was more here, more that could have been here. But then again, that's the same with people as well, isn't it? Endings that you feel have come too early, where there was so much potential for more but cut just so short. That there was room for more in your time with that person, but for whatever reason you never saw it. This is something captured in Halston, a series so much about mistakes. The mistakes of one man just trying to make it, fighting so much. Lies to his partner from those controlling his business, lies he tells himself. Drugs, the same ones his former lover got him started on, the same ones he has come to rely on, the same ones others helped him conform around. By the end, you feel enveloped in the collapse of a man that started out brimming with passion, life, energy, resorted to nothing, next to no one left in his life. Until he could start reaching out to them. Some of the relationships are too broken to be repaired, he left it too long, let that damage fester and sit for too long. But for a few, a select few, he was able to save some of it, not all of it. They never returned to where they were, but there's something. The ending of Halston is heartbreaking, not just because you understand Halston so much, because you connected with him so much, but also because of how true to life it is. Because you know someone like Halston, maybe not so dramatic, not so famous, not so rich, but a creative person fighting an uphill battle partially against themselves. And this ending hits home because we all know, or at least know of, creatives that have seen the end. Maybe they went out kicking and screaming, maybe they went out with a whimper. The end of their careers, the end of their friendships and relationships, and the end of their lives. None of it matters anymore because the damage has been done. Halston can't go back and unhurt all the people he hurt, undo the things that ruined his career. He can't undo any of it. He has to face the music, and that's what makes Halston's ending beautiful. BoJack Horseman's ending is similar, very similar. It's an ending that shows where BoJack is with everyone in his life. A lot of them he hurt far too much to have any kind of closeness with. A lot of those friends are self-aware enough now to realise that BoJack wasn't good for them. To Diane he wasn't much more than an enabler, to Todd he was a bad, toxic friend, and to others he was much, much worse. The ending of the show, like Halston in a lot of ways, is accepting that, but also accepting that BoJack's life will be one unfulfilled, or at least not fulfilled in any of the ways he would have wanted when we first saw him at the start of the show, or even at the start of this series. He went from TV star to a failure to a film star, but threw that all the way again, and then despite all of that heartache and all of those broken chances, he finds some level of fulfillment as a teacher. He's finally able to do some good. But his sins catch up to him, almost like it was destiny. Almost like it was destiny that the show's finale was because the show was cut short by Netflix. Not something you'd ever realise watching the show, but when rewatching it or watching it for the first time with that knowledge, you feel it. BoJack Horseman's finale is not the saddest episode, it's not the most depressing, the most tragic, it's not even the one where BoJack loses the most. But for some reason that makes it more poignant. This walk on the beach with Todd, BoJack and PC's last talk, this is the end. You know it, I know it, they know it.
Wouldn't it be funny if this night was the last time we ever talked to each other?
But they're all a little bit too scared to admit it, and I suppose we are too. I think the reason endings like this hit so hard is because we're never much better than these characters. A dramatic goodbye could be powerful, it's satisfying, it's closure. And yeah, we get it a lot, see it a fair amount in media. But most of the time, the last time you see someone, you say, see you soon, let's get together sometime, I'll see you around, message me sometime. You never know that was the last time you were ever going to talk to that person. The last chance you ever had to laugh with them, to tell them how you felt, and you can feel like you can tell that Bojack is waiting for that. The see you soon to latch onto and hold onto tight, a sentence with the weight of the world. Something other than this nebulous sadness and anxiety that comes with an ending. It's something that no one could really cope with. Logan is a film that was designed for this, an ending you are fully aware of in advance before you even saw the film, an ending 2 decades in the making. Every second of this film is drenched in the idea of an ending. The end of mutants as we once knew them, the end of the X-Men who were all killed before the film even began, really. The world itself has it's at this limit, it's an almost dystopia. Logan has to take bullets for his car because his car is worth so much in a world where service jobs are automated. Everyone dies in Logan. Everyone Logan meets and knows and helps will die. Charles, his family that were just being kind, Caliban, Laura's unnamed protector who was just trying to right wrongs. Logan highlights how endings, while they can be in control, and while sometimes they are caused by things in our control, sometimes they aren't. Sometimes forces so far out of your control, demons you should never have tried to face, are the reasons the endings happen. They take things from you, take people from you, mental illness, physical illness. Charles Xavier, Professor X, the world's strongest telepath, founder of the X-Men and father to so many people, was suffering from Alzheimer's. No fantasy illness or science fiction disease. Alzheimer's. Logan is only there because of choices he made decades ago, because he was trying to do the right thing for people, but those choices eventually brought him to here, an ending that he has to wrestle every fragment of control over for the most insurmountable of odds. But that's how it always was for him, so why would it stop now? But Logan also highlights that we can fight for what will come after us, and that despite all the damage and all the hell that you have been through, in the end you can try to do something for the future, for those after you. Will it mean anything? Will they ever be grateful? Will they even care? You don't know. But hey, better to try than not. You never want it to end, can never bear to say goodbye and mean it, draw that line in the sand and end that part of your life. But you've got to. If you don't, you'll never move on. There are a million endings in each of our lives, the ending of a day, a week, a fun interaction, and each and every time you get the chance to reflect. I'd say a perfect show for this kind of reflection is Cowboy Bebop. When you start, no matter how aware you were of the show's themes and ideas, you'll spend the majority of your time on the show thinking about it. From the start, maybe you'll focus on the way the characters interact. Spike's carefree attitude to the point of getting him in danger at numerous points, Jet's concern, Faye's aggressiveness and hostility. But eventually you gain an understanding of why that is. It's never a complete one, but it's the start of one. Spike is like this because he believes he might be living a dream. He died once, maybe this is just a limbo, an afterlife, so why not keep throwing yourself into life-threatening situations one after the other just to maybe, finally, find out if it was a dream or not. Jet has lost everything once before, a choice that was robbed from him the first time, but a choice he eventually reconciles with and gets over, coming to appreciate what he has now all the more. Faye doesn't know who she is, and when she thinks she's close, she finds out that it's all gone decades ago, and pretty much as soon as she realizes what she has is infinitely more important than anything she wants or is lost, she ends up losing more. Bebop is so tragic in its ending because it all happened so specifically, but also so randomly. Julie died from a stray shot because Spike was seconds too late, and that's what made Spike have to go and fight Vicious, and by proxy have to die. But it was those same odds that gave Jet the new mindset he's so happy living with. And it's those same odds that directed Faye to a place of appreciation. It's all so specifically perfect in how it turned out. Not just with what we see, but how we didn't see even further before this also shaped them. But this is where the odds took us. It's as much in our control as it is out of it. Spike chose to come here, but the things that made him make that choice were never in his control. It might not seem like it, but all of these characters came so far from when they started. But now with 2 of them gone, It'll take another long distance before they can get over this. And I think that's the power of endings from the perspective of viewing media too, that they give the opportunity to reflect on where you were at the start and where you are now. The ability to move on from what came before into what's new, to be able to look back on an era of your life long gone is a blessing in a lot of ways. The era punctuated by you being obsessed with an anime or a video game or a YouTuber. Or maybe that was just something you wanted to waste all of your time in. But that's all gone now. Maybe for the best, but even if so, it's always sad. Things that were never intended to have endings still end. Everything will eventually, on the small scale and on the large scale. But the power of endings is that you can move on. Something else can fill your time, could be the thing you play for hundreds of hours, could be the next person you fall in love with talking to, or the next person you fall in love with hearing talk. Endings are sad. Really fucking sad. They mark the end of something important to you most likely, although maybe you won't realise it at first. But they're also the first step towards the beginning of the next thing that will be important to you, that will mean something to you. And I think that's something worth smiling about. Worth considering when you get lost in the anxiety of an ending. Everything begins and everything ends. And while that can be existential and crushing at times, I think it's also comforting in a lot of ways. It's really, really nice to know that everyone knows the pain of an ending, but also the importance of them. Maybe only subconsciously, but it's still there, and still worth loving every single second of.